Were you the type of kid that loved pirates and cowboys? I was. I don't know what it is. I've always been fascinated by the media portrayal of pirates and cowboys. Could it be the treasure, the adventure, the fact of riding a horse or sailing about a pirate ship? I have the answer to all these questions. Yes. When Pirates of the Caribbean launched back in 2003, 20 years ago. Wow, that's old. I am old. With Curse of the Black Pearl, I was there, baby. I was ready. So today we're gonna see if they stand the test of time. Welcome Disney adults to Disney Magic Zach. I'm Zach, and today we're seeing if the Pirates of the Caribbean movies stand the test of time in 2023. I've watched all 5 movies and I am going to put all my findings in this video for you. So starting off with Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl, the first movie in the franchise, starting in 2003. It was a good movie. It introduced all the characters: Captain Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, Captain Barbossa, you know, all of those characters that we're going to see throughout the franchise. And it was a very good starting point. It was a very good movie, very entertaining. And I ain't clock on that Barbossa was in every single one of them. Barbossa being the main antagonist of Curse of the Black Pearl, with the Aztec gold, being immortal essentially, and yeah, having that curse on him. Overall, a great first movie for the franchise. A little bit of nostalgia came with this one. Obviously, this was the first one that I watched back in 2003. I was just a wee lad. I was a small boy. I think I was like 9 when it came out, and I enjoyed it more being older, as you probably do, as you watch on your, you watch back on some of your stuff. You're like, yo, it's pretty banging. It's pretty banging. So yeah. Curse of the Black Pearl, very, very good. It had some exciting action scenes, some exciting sword fights, insane action sequences that was just so good. The CGI was pretty amazing considering it was 2003. Also, I'll talk about the CGI in a little bit with Dead Man's Chest, because I think that's where it really shined. There's also some references to the ride, which I love. Being a park dude, a park guy, it was exciting to see the references. Obviously, the jail cell is a big reference to Pirates of the Caribbean, and having Rover, the little dog, is also a reference. The bit where they're trying to get the key from the dog or from Rover, and then Jack turns around and says, you're going to be doing that forever, or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing it. An iconic little comedic throwback to the original homage of the ride. And super, it was very, very cool. It was a nice touch. I laughed out loud with that. I laughed out loud. It was pretty funny to see the throwbacks and to actually call back to the original ride and what it came from. And yeah, overall, it was a great movie. Overall, it was a fantastic movie. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like it was pretty good, but the second one, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, is the one that I remember the most. 100% Davy Jones is probably the best bad guy in the franchise. I will take that to the grave, because dead men tell no tales. It was a fantastic movie. Just the scenes, the CGI was just chef's kiss. It was gorgeous. And the story opens up more plot, opens up more expansions on the story with Barbossa and Jack, all that kind of stuff. Will reunites with his father, which is a nice little touching side story. His dad was bound to the Dutchman, bound to the sea through the curse of the Dead Man's Chest. and Davy Jones's locker, things like that. It was just plot twist after plot twist. Like, it was boom, boom, boom. The plot was always running. The action scenes were on point. I mean, personally for me, one of the best fighting scenes was where they were on the water wheel. And that is just hands down probably one of my favourite scenes from the whole franchise that I've watched, 100%. It's just a very iconic scene. I put it up there iconically with, obviously not as big, but iconically with Raiders of the Lost Ark, with Indy running away from the giant boulder. I'd put it up there. The Kraken was insanely cool. It was very, very cool. Like I say, the CGI was just marvelous. Absolutely phenomenal. For the time. 2006 this came out. Yeah, it was just insane. And this is easily for me a 9 out of 10, possibly even a 10, just because of how nostalgic it was, how impressive it was. The story is very, very strong, and it's just hands down probably my favorite in the franchise. We're moving on to the third one. The Caribbean at World's End. Now, this one started off with tying up some loose ends from Dead Man's Chest, picking up from where it left off, which is a good sign. We like that. This one was pretty good. I feel like it was still quite strong. The story was there. The story's there. It tied up some loose ends from Davy Jones' locker, and Davy Jones's story, with, you know, the Dead Man's Chest. It tied up all those loose ends. Jack got saved from the locker. Davy Jones gets killed. We'll talk about that in a minute. Will becomes the new captain of the Dutchman, which is interesting. Jack goes a little bit mad, talking to himself through, you know, various ways in various scenes, having like conversations with his split alter egos, personalities, or whatever. And yeah, I mean, the story makes sense in terms of the movies. Doesn't really follow the ride anymore. I feel like Curse of the Black Pearl was the ride. So yeah, I feel like Curse of the Black Pearl was the ride, and at World's End is just. And Dead Man's Chest is the movie, strictly the movies now. And I'm alright with that. The story progressed well. It followed on. It did good. There was an awesome fight scene between Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow. Probably one of my favourite fight scenes from the movie. It was just insanely cool. Very, very cool. We got to see some of the pirate lords from across the world. Jack is apparently one of them. Elizabeth becomes a pirate queen, or a pirate lord, like the pirate king, overlord, whatever. It was more story driven than action, and I feel like this is a running theme as the movies go on. That's not a bad thing. I'm just, when I expect to watch a pirate movie, I expect action rather than story. But you know, you've got to drive the story to have the action. I get that. So it is a little bit more story driven, but it's okay. It works out. Beckett dies. Now, Beckett was one of the redcoats, one of the main redcoats from the first 3 movies. And as we go further in, you're going to see less and less of Beckett and less of like the known redcoats or the known Englishmen, and you're going to have just other ones that just appear in that one movie. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I liked Beckett. He was a good. I wish he turned into pirate, but he didn't. So you know, it is what it is. Will and Elizabeth get married and have a child. They have a kid before he becomes the Dutchman, or the captain of the Dutchman. So he had a kid. He went off for 10 years. He comes back, sees a kid, sees Elizabeth, all that stuff. Pretty chill. At World's End, I'm gonna rank it probably like a 7.5. It was alright. It was pretty good. It was above average. That's all I'm saying. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. This one was very much story driven. Yeah, again, like I said, it's not a bad thing. I get it, to move the plot along and things like that, to see where you want it to go. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It does the trick. No Will or Elizabeth Swann. It makes sense in the story. They're not going to show Elizabeth Swann. She's looking after a kid. She isn't on the seas anymore. And Will is in his tenure of being within his 10 years before he can step on land and stuff like that. So he's, not around. I would have liked to seen him a bit more just on the Dutchman and being, either with Jack, against Jack, and against the Pearl, or whatever ship they had. But yeah, he wasn't there, which is a shame. It was an interesting plot. Moving back into it, it was an interesting plot. The plot was to find the Fountain of Youth. Now, that was very, very interesting to say the least, how they took the concept of said Fountain of Youth. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Blackbeard was in it as the main bad guy, or one of the bad guys, along with Barbossa, of course, he was in it. And speaking of Barbossa, there was an epic fight scene between Barbossa and Blackbeard. It was a very cool scene. I really liked it. It's probably one of the best in the movie, probably the best of the movie. And yeah, overall a solid movie. A solid movie. I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Pirates of the Caribbean, Salazar's Revenge. Now this one was alright. This one was fine, I guess. It wasn't my favourite one. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. The story had some plot holes in it that, again, I don't know if it is a plot hole or if I just don't understand it properly, because, I might be small brain, I don't know. But Jack gave away his compass, traded it for a bottle of rum in a bar, or like a tavern, okay? And Salazar was able to escape. Now, my questioning is, Jack has given away his compass a number of times to Elizabeth Swann, to Gibbs, to Barbossa, to Will, and a couple of other people, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he gave it to the Redcoats as well at one point in one of the movies. So my question is why didn't it trigger then? I mean, I get it's the plot of the movie, I get that. But surely the amount of times that Jack gave away that compass, it would have triggered it, surely. Or am I just being dumb? I don't know. I don't know. It threw me off. There was also something else. It was like a flashback to how Salazar wanted revenge on Jack Sparrow. And there was some weird ass baby filter on Jack Sparrow. It was like the Snapchat baby filter. It was very bizarre. I didn't like them scenes. It was very, very strange. He was smooth faced. He looked weird. It just looked like really crappy, green screening or a filter. Wasn't great. This is the whole plot of the movie, really. The whole plot is that Salazar wanted revenge on Jack Sparrow for trapping him in the Devil's Triangle, which you find out in the flashbacks. Barbossa dies in this movie. If this is the last one of the franchise, it makes sense. I think Jack's literally killed all of his enemies at this point. He is probably the god of the sea now. All curses were lifted. The Trident of Poseidon was destroyed, which was the main plot of the story, to free Will from the Dutch. So Will's son wanted to free Will so he could come home, essentially. That was the plot. But then the side plot was Salazar trying to get revenge on Jack. So it was more so trying to get Poseidon's trident and destroying it. That was the plot of the movie. So then all the curses of the sea would be broken, like the Dutchman, Salazar, whoever else has a curse on them. That made sense. That one made sense in terms of Will and the curse and stuff. But the plot for Salazar to me just didn't make sense. The amount of times that Jack gave away his compass was surely the guy would have been able to escape. He's giving it away. I counted at least 6 in when I was trying to figure it out, and you can't. I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, that part of the movie didn't make sense. The opening scene was pretty. The opening scene was pretty funny, to be fair. They were trying to rob a bank, and it failed drastically. They took the building with them instead of just the safe. And by the time they got the safe was empty. So it was, it was a pretty good opening scene. Other than that, I mean, the movie was just solid mid. It was pretty mid. I'd say a 5 out of 10. That is all of them. That is all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Now, to answer the question, do they hold up in 2023? Yes and no. I'm gonna say for the first 3, yes. For the last 2, no. The last 2, even though I ranked the Stranger Tides a 7 out of 10, I'd still probably wouldn't watch it unless... I mean, I probably would watch it again. I'd probably watch them all again. But the 3 that I'd be most looking forward to is the early ones. Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and what's the third one? At World's End. Or is it Stranger Tides? Yeah, At World's End. I'd probably watch them 3 again. Yeah, I'd probably watch those 3. Well, and more so the first 2. Curse of the Black Pearl and Dead Man's Chest are the 2 that I would watch again and again and again, because I feel they are the best of what you could bring to a franchise that is from a Disney ride. And yeah, the other 3 are fine. Like they're good movies, but I feel where it all lies is at the beginning. They tried so hard to do something unique and different and take a spin on a ride from Disney, and they succeeded with Curse of the Black Pearl. Dead Man's Chest was insanely good. Again, probably what sets it apart from all the other movies is the CGI in Dead Man's Chest. You gotta remember, this is 2006, and the CGI be looking like it's done today. Like, it looks incredible. The production is there. You can tell they were proud of making those movies. And as you go through the franchise, the CGI gradually got less and less and less. And it began to dwindle. So I'd say, if you've never watched them, give them a watch, because if you're a fan of pirates, these movies are for you, 100%. If you like, you know, original movies, original concepts of a ride that was taken and then transferred into a high seas pirate adventure, you'll love Pirates of the Caribbean. There's no doubt about it. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll watch all of them again. Where it lies, I think the first 2 are the best and are the most, probably the better ones to watch. And yeah, that is my overall thought. So are they worth watching in 2023? Yes, they are. If you're a fan of pirates and a fan of adventure movies and story, like a original story and fantastic characters that stand the test of time, the Pirates of the Caribbean is for you, and I highly recommend you watching them. They're all available on Disney Plus. If you've got Disney Plus, go ahead and watch them. If you've not got Disney Plus, then don't be a pirate and pirate them. Buy Disney Plus and watch them that way. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's something very different. I've been super excited to make this video. And, you know, I think it turned out pretty well. Also, this shirt is insanely cool. Like, this is probably my favourite shirt that I've got. So I thought it fitting for this video, because it's got skulls on it, and it's coming out in October. It's October, so happy Halloween, y'all. We've got some spooky videos coming on the way, starting with this one. We've got a podcast coming out on Friday for you, and I'm sorry for missing the week before, and this is why you're getting a podcast and a video in the same week. The week before, I was awful. I felt like death. I felt disgusting. So no video, didn't even turn on anything. I just didn't bother. And yeah, so that's why there was no video. So this is why you're getting it this week, and a podcast next week, this week as well, Friday the 13th. So yeah, got a super fun guest coming up for y'all on the pod. And then the week after, the Monday after that, I've got a super fun top 10 list for you coming up, which I think you'll be very, very excited to see. I'm very super excited to make it. And then after that, another podcast episode coming out, which will be, again, maybe a guest or maybe a solo. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it. I have got a guest lined up. Or guests, I will say. We've got guests, multiple, coming up on the podcast. So yeah, not sure if I'm going to bring that one out then or have a solo episode, because we've not had a solo for a little while. So I think it'd be nice to have a little bit of a catch up, a little bit on there. And yeah, but apart from that, and then the week after that, I've got another exciting video for you, all about something spooky, the spookiest. That's all I'm going to say. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel to join the Disney adults. If you are a Disney adult, this channel is for you. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of October, so do yourselves a favour, join. We're almost at 50, we're at 46 currently as of recording this, so join that button, press it down below for new videos every Monday and new episodes every other Friday. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll see you all on Friday in the podcast. Until then, much love. Have a magical day.